How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of SevTech Ages. Now, today might be the series finale. I'm not honestly sure whether or not we will get this all done, but in the event that we are able to get all of our singularities put together today and fight Sev, then this will be the final episode. If not, then next week we won't have a SevTech episode, but we will have one the following week, because right now I'm a little low on recording time. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this one off and then start the process of another one in the event that we do need one. But either way, next week there will be a single one-off episode in a different game. We have played it on the channel before, but it has been quite some time since it's been on the channel, so it's just a one-off kind of thing. Anyways, though, with the series coming to a close either today or next episode, by all means, let me know down in the comments below what mod pack or just general game you guys want to see here on the channel moving forward. I'm trying to get back into the swing of maybe having multiple series going again and having more than just one episode a week, because that was not the intent when I started this series, and then I kind of just got into a groove of only doing once a week, and yeah, that's not really what I wanted to do here. Anyways, though, we got all of our cloches down. There's 197 of them on this single layer. Most of the crops that we have in this system, we have either between 4 to 6 of each crop type, except for coal and redstone. Maybe lapis as well, if I remember to do that while I was making them, but I don't remember if I did. But the reason that we don't have coal and redstone is because they give off 16. It's an 8 to 16 ratio thing there, and everything else is only 4 or 2, except for the diamonds and emeralds, which are only singles. So we might actually have to swap out a lot of these cloches once we start getting all of the singularities up and running, because those are going to be the hardest ones, I believe, since they only give off 1. I think we might have enough to get like half of a singularity of both of those up and running today. We are not very close on either of those, I do not think. But anyways, I've also had to go ahead and build out a secondary turbine. The single one here was no longer capable of keeping up with all of the stuff that we have powered. So we have all the cloches down. We also have our arc furnace plugged into the system. So this was not able to do it anymore. So I plugged in a secondary one, and I have 2 power cables going from this one to power these guys, and then I have a single one from this to power it as well. And for the most part, we seem fine. Like, one of these is full, it's not draining, and then the other one is kind of bouncing around, almost full and not draining. So I think we're fine. We might even be able to build out a third one and not have to add any more of the fabricators down, possibly. But at the moment, we don't really need it, and I don't think we're probably going to need any more power, to be completely honest here. There's also one last thing I wanted to show you guys here, and that is our singularity room that I went ahead and put together here. So I moved all of the items down here that are going to go into singularities. We have a couple blank spots right now because we don't have the items for those, so I didn't really want to dedicate an item to the drawer since I don't actually have them. But the only singularities that we have done right now are the salts. I went ahead and flew around our rivers around us and just vein mined all the salt that I came across. We have exactly 20,900 or something like that. So I believe those are the 2 singularities of salt that we have to get. So that's great. I didn't realize it until after the fact of doing this. It only took like 40 minutes to get all that salt as well with the vein mine and the magnet. So it wasn't actually too long. But there is another option of getting salt, which I did in Vault Hunters, or I at least like built out the thing in Vault Hunters, but I don't think I was getting salt from it. But in this, we have the brine tower, which you can make in mechanism or a thermal controller thing, which gives us brine, and then we can take that and process it through this thing, and that is going to give us gaseous brine and then break it down again, and it gives us salt. So that is one way of getting it. If the singularities required more, then I guess I would have built that after the fact here, because again, I'm done with the salt, so I don't really need it. I've also gone ahead and crafted up some more machines because we are going to need metal presses for the paper clips. We have 2 options of making these. We have the metal press, which is a 1 to 4, or we can use the paperclip factory from Modular Machinery, which gives us a 1 to 8, but I'm not exactly sure if we need lubricant or not. This one down here doesn't have it, but this one does, so I'm not sure exactly why that is, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the metal presses. Hopefully by having down 10 of them, we're going to be turning out a lot of paper clips very, very quickly. That's kind of the plan here. And as far as the auto crafting goes, we are missing one more piece. So if we take a look at this, we are going to need this guy, which requires us to get one more yellow table. So we don't currently have that. And we should honestly have all of the resources in our system right this instant. All right, well, there we go. We got another ME crafting terminal, and that should go into this, which is going to be the pattern terminal, which we need to set up all of our crafting recipes to have our auto crafters doing their thing. So for right now, can I get another glass cable, please? Let me get that, and we can plop it right over here for right now. That's fine. And it should have a different UI, which it does. Okay, so we now need blank patterns, and the recipe for that is relatively straightforward. So what I'm going to do is actually take one of those and turn it into a recipe, because we are going to need a lot of these. So right now, let's take our crafting stuff, and for right now, what we're going to do... Oh, I need more cables, actually. Hold on. Alrighty, well, hopefully 33 of these cables is going to be enough to get what we want up and running. So right now, what we can do is plop a cable off the side of this, and what we'll do right now is have 2 of these and 2 of these. Hopefully that's going to be good, and if we wanted to, we could just combine, or yeah, let's just do that instead. We'll combine the whole thing together, and that way we have one crafting unit. Hopefully it's able to utilize the entirety of the thing that we're going to set up and not run into issues. So next, what we want to do is actually have these guys plugged in as well. So I think all we got to do with these is have them down, and then on the inside, we're able to put the patterns, which we are. That's great. So we only have 4 molecular assemblers at the moment. We will probably increase that because we have 3 to 4 sides we can have them on. So that should, I believe, speed up the processing of, or crafting of recipes. Especially with this thing, we might have to expand it a little bit more or add in multiple more to give our crafting memory thing more room. But we're going to have that there. We're going to space it. We're going to put another one and then rinse and repeat all the way down here, which we have 1 extra to go. So, you know what? For right now, we'll have 3 of them. We'll fill that up with all the recipes that we need. Then we have a 4th one if need be. We can just add another row on the side. That is fine. But right now, since we have the blank pattern in there, there is 32 singularities in total. 2 of them are paper clips, so we only have 31 of them to go. So if we make 32, which is a stack in total, right? Because we're going to need the items being crafted themselves. And then we can also probably set up more of the interfaces underneath the compressors and have them pulling the material into the compressors themselves. So I'm going to give that a go. These are relatively cheap, so let's make a stack. And right now, we don't have iron and we don't have glowstone. So if I cancel that real quick, can I craft up 2 of them? I cannot. I can craft 1. Okay, so we have to manually craft that thing real quickly. That's fine. Let me just do some iron, which we currently have 24,000 essence in the system. I feel like that's not going to be enough to do what we need to, but that's fine. Let me do that. Let me see if we do this thing again. We do 2. It's going to give us 2 of them. Great. So all we got to do is 1 for iron and 1 for glowstone. And then if we do this, it's going to save both of those. We go plop them into our assemblers. Now all we need is 32 of these guys instead of 64. Or 62 of them, not 32 of them, dum-dum. But there we go. So can we do that now? It should, because it's going to have the recipes to craft those 2 items. So that's good. If we run out of the quartz glass, though, that'll be an issue. But right now, we don't need any of it. So let's set that in motion. And in a minute, that is going to be good to go. Which right now, look at, we have 11, 12, 14, 15. It's going to take a second, but that will process through all 32 of them, so that is awesome. It also looks like I might be able to throw some of these speed upgrades and stuff onto these machines, which I didn't realize was a thing, so now that I know we can do that, that is awesome. So we have a couple speed upgrades already in here, and are those of... Oh yeah, molecular assembler right down the bottom. Okay, cool. Let's take those, and that's all applied energistic stuff. So do I have any more of them? I have a couple of the stack upgrades, which don't go to those, so that's a bit of a bummer, but But if we plop the upgrades on there now, we should see a bit of a speed increase on that. And hopefully, right, I'm able to make a bunch of those. We can also make another blink upgrade for that, and then just have those get mass produced, because I don't think they're super duper expensive. Alrighty, well, I was going to set up the automation process for the acceleration cards, but I'm actually going to hold off on that. I might chip away at it during today's episode, but I'm not going to do it right now, because I need to set up some importers and exporters to our inscriber over here to have it auto making these guys, which I don't really want to do right now. We don't need a lot of the applied energistic stuff to finish off the pack. So I'm going to kind of put that to the side and focus on getting our singularities rolling. So I'm going to go through, set up the recipes for all of the essence so that they're auto crafting. We're also going to want one of these guys before I forget about it, or actually two of these guys, because this is going to allow us, I believe, to set up the spawners that we picked up last episode and allow them to not break, if I'm understanding that correctly, or at least have them spawning when we're not close, I believe. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to plop those on the 2 player spawners that we found once we get our mob farm up and running. But anyways, let me go through and set up the essence, and we can get some of these things kind of going. Alrighty, well, I think I have all of the essence recipes in the system, so hopefully that's the case and I didn't miss any. I can't quite figure out how exactly to set up these recipes, but hopefully that is something that is doable. We'll kind of figure that out as we progress today. But right now, if we go ahead and click on something, so let's say glowstone, because that is currently what we have the least amount of, we can go ahead and set the recipe for 20,000, and apparently we do have the essence to do this. So let's set that in motion. If we go back over here and we look at our glowstone, that number is going to rocket through. So we're sitting at 2,000, 3,000 just about when we clicked off of there, and our drawer is still climbing. That is good. We're at 4,000. So where is that being made? It's being made in this one. It's being made in that one, and the very top one as well. It doesn't look like it's doing it in the side ones, which I'm not sure why. They're all connected to the same thingy, so I don't know why it's not using those two as well. Could potentially make the crafting recipe a little bit quicker, or maybe you just can't use all the sides on it. I'm not too sure, but we have upgrades in all of these now, and we have recipes available in this one and this one, which I think this one's completely empty right now, so I can come back, add more stuff in as we need it. We will just kind of have to keep an eye on that, but we are done with the essence. That is it. That's 20,000 right there. That is enough for 2 of our singularities. So all that's really left is to plop down the compressors and actually start those things in motion. So where's my my hammer's in my inventory, dum-dum. But let's plop this guy out. I am going to try and connect them in a way that allows us to pull from the system without having to just have an exporter on them, because I really don't want to have 4 exporters on these and then have it split the ore across 4 of them, because then we won't have any of the singularities put together. So I'm going to fiddle around with this a little bit, see if I can find either a tutorial or just figure it out here on my own. I'll let you guys know. But once I get these things kind of sorted, then we can throw the mob farm together. We can throw our metal press things together and kind of get everything going. That's really all we have left to do. So let me try and figure this out, and hopefully I can. Alrighty, well, I couldn't quite figure out how to exactly automate this whole process other than using other mods that are not in this pack. So what I went ahead and did was just connect a couple of the export buses to the compressors. We have a couple upgrades in there, which kinda may or may not be necessary because we can only process through 1 singularity at a time. So these guys right here allow us to have all 9 slots available. So we could maybe lose one of those, add another speed upgrade, just to try and maybe see if that makes a difference in how fast these guys get crafted. But I'm not sure if the quantum compressor themselves are tied to like a certain time limit on how long they take to craft. But anyways, we now have one of these, so let's plop it there. So now we have a storage slot available for those, and I've already gone through and set some recipes in motion. So we have 20,000 coal, we have 20,000 of the redstone, or I guess 30,000 redstone, 20,000 of the glowstone, we have 20,000 aluminum as well. So if we go through, we click on these guys real quick, we can take 4 of them, Right, and that is going to allow us to begin the process of getting these singularities up and running. I don't know, again, if there is a way for us to limit this because we're just going to kind of burn resources because we have 30,000 redstone, so it has enough to make 3 of these singularities, and we don't need 3 of them. So that might be a bit of an issue, but can we get that back? We can't get that back, can we? Let's do that. There we go. Okay. If we plop all this stuff back into the drawers, it is going to pull all the stuff that it can, which we should already see these guys dropping, although they're not dropping. There is 64, and oh, you know what? Okay. It's probably because we don't have the ultimate thingies in the system, which we could have just dropped them in there to begin with, but let's do that. And now it should be crafting, hopefully, here. Although it's not. Still not. Okay. Maybe we just have to plop them in there manually, in which case we can do away with all of this then. We might be able to automate this just with a... Oh, we can't even shift-click that in. Weird. Okay. It might not actually register that as an input source then. Okay. Let's get rid of this stuff. We don't need it. I'm just going to throw some speed upgrades in there. Maybe it empties out the system a little bit quicker. But we just have to keep an eye on this then. And now it's not putting that in there. Or is it? Oh, it is. It's very, very slowly putting them in there. But, yeah. Okay. Let me go get speed upgrades. Put them in there. Put all these guys in there as well. We can only put one at a time, and we have to actually click it on over there, unfortunately. But that is fine. Okay. That is going to get going. And the aluminum one is not moving. Did I not need an aluminum one? I could have sworn I needed one. Aluminum. Why are you not processing through? Alrighty, well, it looks like we just got our first set of singularities here. Our coal one and our redstone one both processed through. On the back of these machines, I have an importer, so it should be in our system right now. I want to see real quickly if we can just do one of these, maybe have it fill up the system a little bit quicker, which it may or may... that's definitely moving a lot quicker. Okay, that's great. So let's do that. And is there a way that we can have the little ultimate thingies going into the machine, maybe using a hopper? That would be cool. We got one in there. This is still not processing through right now, which is a little bit of an issue because that is definitely one that we need. The recipe also says it's the immersive engineering aluminum, so I'm not sure why that's not going through. It's the ultimate catalyst, which is what we have in there. So, yeah. Hopefully that's not bugged, because that would be really annoying, which then we wouldn't be able to complete this without cheesing it in, which I don't really want to do. But, yeah, okay. This is processing through again. This is... Oh, wait. I just did it not use this at all? I thought we would have to plop another one in there, like one per catalyst. Or singularity, not catalyst. So that's what that person meant the other week when they told me I only needed one. My bad. Okay. I see what you did. I see what you mean now. We don't need coal anymore. That should be 2 singularities. We don't need this anymore. Don't break that. We don't need redstone anymore, I don't think. Let me move things around here, since it looks like we are pretty much set up. We just need to be swapping out the little recipes right now. So yeah, I'm going to try and figure out why the aluminum one's not working. But over in this, we should have our singularities. So yep, there we go. We got 2 coals, 2 glowstone, and 2 redstones. So we no longer need those guys. We need all the other ones though, which right now, some of the stuff we can't quite make because we are a little low on resources still with the whole thing here. But are we able to make 19,999 with this? Because we already have one of them. We're a little low on pork essence, so no. We need 63,000 more, so that's going to be a little while away. And we need 26,000 iron for that. We were missing 156,000 sticks, so that might not be something we can easily automate at the moment. But let me go through, see what we have, and hopefully make a couple more of these catalysts, or singular... Why do I keep calling them catalysts today? Hopefully we can make a couple more. It looks like we might just have to AFK for a little while longer, because we're kind of close. That's only 10,000 essence out from being able to craft this thing. So yeah, let me wait around. While we're doing that, though, I can at least try and be a little proactive here. So let me build out our mob farm. I'm going to build out the structure real quick, and then we can set this in motion and see if it's going to work out the way I'm hoping it will. So the size of our mob farm is going to be dependent on how big this area is, which it's pretty sizable. So we could have our powered spawner in the middle, and then we can have the 2 spawners that hopefully don't break, but they're most likely going to, even with this thing on there. We'll kind of see. But we'll have those on the sides, and we should have enough room for everything to spawn and get pushed. So hopefully, with the fan upgrade, we can see how much of an area this covers. We don't need it to go the whole area. We just need it to go to one specific point. So if we plop all the upgrades in there, let's see how much of an area that covers. It is pretty much the entire half of it. So we would need multiple fans. Can't quite get away with 5, I don't think. But I'm going to go ahead and encase this whole little area with some of the building blocks that I'm going to use for this. Underneath, we're going to dig out a little area because that can go underground. We don't need the whole area above it to capture items because it's going to be on the floor. But anyways, let me go ahead and put this building together so we can see whether or not these things are actually going to help our spawners or not. Alrighty, well, our mob farm is just about ready to go here. All of the fans have upgrades in them. They all center on this single killing device right now. If we need to increase the amount of these down, then we can. But at the moment, we're going to try and only do 1. I also took the nether star that we got last episode and turned it into an unbreakable wand because I didn't really want to have to place every block on the roof. And so that allowed us to just kind of speed through that whole process. Same thing with all the glass on the sides here. So I went ahead and made that. Our sorting system downstairs should hopefully be good to go. I'm not exactly 100% on it just yet, so let's place this guy there. It consumes the bag. Okay, I did not know that, but that is good to know. And can we place what? Oh, where did that just go? Why did that get chucked out of my inventory, bud? Hold on, hold your horses. Go away, please. Nope, get. I need to interact with my my thingy. Oh, you know what? Dang it. Okay. Well, I guess that's a good sign that it's working because it's supposed to be taking any items that aren't filtered properly and chucking them in the trash. So the thing that we just chucked on the ground there immediately got voided there. That's good news. That is fantastic news. That's exactly what I wanted. All right. Well, I need to make another one of those. That thing seems to be still spinning. It didn't stop it, so that's good. Let me go make another one. We should be kind of good. Hopefully, you know what? I don't have that thing on, so I can't even auto-kill everything that's spawning. So, yeah, let me quickly try and correct that issue. I don't know why it dropped. I could have sworn I had it in my inventory, but apparently not. Well, there's a lot more stuff in here than there was just a second ago, which is not great, but I guess that's kind of to be expected with all the dark spots. So that's good. Because then that's at least some passive mobs that are going to be... Don't blow up, don't blow up, don't blow up. Oh, man. Yeah, that's going to be passive mobs that are generating the stuff for this guy. So that's great. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let's get rid of these guys. Let's get rid of that as well. And we should be safe to leave. So as we get out of here... We can, let me go turn the killing thing on first, and then we can turn on everything else. So if I line myself up with 240, we should be able to just punch down. There we go, cool, okay. So let's enable this guy. Oh, wait. Did I not click on that? I guess I didn't, so we didn't actually have to craft another. What did I click on? That I didn't have any inventories in. Oh, I clicked on this thing. I didn't click on the chest. Okay, so our filter system is not working. That is not good. That's something I need to try and figure out then. But now that that's spinning, we can run around, turn on all of our fans. They should all get squished into the center and then stabbed. There we go. Good. I also just realized I didn't put the the thingy inside of the spawner. Okay, well, mistake city right now, huh? Okay, let's do one of those, and hopefully we can stand here. We should be able to, right? Yep, we're above. Actually, no, we shouldn't be able to stand here. The fan should be pushing us off. Well, okay, that's another issue that I've just realized. So we gotta try and figure that one out now, and that should start spawning dudes. There we go. Do we have our quartz on us? No, that got sucked into our vacuum. Okay, let's see real quick. Why is guy standing there? Fan is very clearly going over the thing. Why are you not falling off of there? Let me throw one more in here and see if maybe... No. Still just stood there. Huh. Okay. Maybe we just do one of these then. We don't need that to be open, I guess. That's fine. Let me just shove them off, and then we can build up off of it so that nothing can spawn there. And then I'll come back and put the quartz here in 2 seconds, but... yeah, that should work. Not exactly sure why the fan wasn't shoving, but it is what it is. Our compasses should be going into our drawer system, but eventually our chest over here is going to backlog, so I need to figure out what just got put in the trash. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, are the compasses going in the trash? That's not what we want. That shouldn't be going. We have it filtered to blue. All right, no, our compasses are going down the chute there. So that's good. Okay, we don't want this cycling anything. We don't want that cycling that. We want to keep it going that way. Let me try and figure out how to get all this stuff to get trashed, because we really don't need anything coming through here. Alrighty, well, that was pretty straightforward. I just have Minecraft getting filtered out and trashed. So it's all the other mob drops that are coming out of this thing. So that's great. And what are we currently up to on the compasses here? We are currently up to 32. Okay, this is not going to be a very fast process, is it? Well, that's fine. That is our compasses automated. Maybe in a few minutes, the other two spawners that we have down will break, or maybe they will just last for a little while. I don't really know. But hopefully, yeah, it all works out. I am going to very quickly actually take one of our meteoric irons, and we are going to throw together our first paperclip. So let's do this. That way we get the advancement together, and then I'm going to go ahead and build out the 10 of these and start automating the production of paperclips. So there is our first one, and I guess our secondary one here, are 8 of them. So I'm going to plop these in the drawer so that we have a slot for them to go into. And then I'm probably just going to automate them right behind our drawer system and either have them getting pumped into the drawer directly or have them go into... Or actually, yeah, that's probably what we're going to do, because that's going to be probably the most simplest thing we can do. So we'll have them over there for right now. It looks like we're most likely not going to be completing the pack today, if I'm being honest here, because that requires a whole ton of iron. We also need the 20,000 iron for our singularities alone. So that might be the holdup, but I'm going to try and get it done today. So since we have a couple of these things done already, I'm going to start swapping out our crops over there so that we're not generating the essence anymore. I'm going to start making more of the crops that we need, mainly just these two because they're, again, singles, and probably some more iron ones. We have those 13 slots open. So we might just fill those 13 with iron and then change out all the other ones that we have to the things that might be a little while longer, right? So that way we're not just generating stuff that we're not going to need right now. We need it for recipes and stuff, but we don't need it to make singularities. So we can probably leave like one crop growing, but we don't need the 6 or 7, whatever I have growing over there. Oh, also I forgot, but I moved these guys out into their own separate things because having that one big unit was not allowing us to multi-craft a bunch of stuff. So now doing that, we have 4 recipes available to craft at once instead of just having one that can craft like 100,000 items or whatever it was doing. So that's what we've been up to here in between cuts. But I'm going to go ahead and start messing with the crops so that we can get some more stuff coming in a little bit quicker to try and get all this stuff sorted here today. Alrighty, well, after many hours of AFKing, we are just about ready to finish off this pack. So before we start going over all the stuff that I've added in between cuts here, we are down to only 4 more singularities. I've done everything else, and the death compasses were the most time consuming. We were only generating about 1,000 an hour, and I even added more spawners and stuff. We had a little bit of a creeper accident that destroyed several spawners, but we couldn't really get more than 1,000 an hour. I don't know why, but I couldn't really maximize on that. Maybe the layout of that farm or just the drop rates of these things are not super great. Anyways, though, we are going to take one of these guys, and one of these guys, and have them start processing through to make their singularities here. So let's do our cookie, our death compass, and our uranium. And with those three in motion, all we have left to do is our minecart. So we can set that in motion from down here because I went ahead and made a wireless terminal, which kind of caused some issues because I was trying to be lazy and just have this thing open from wherever we are in base. And I threw a stack of the upgrades in that thing, which caused us to use, I want to say like 8,000, almost 9,000 power a tick, which we can't really support. So it ended up causing our whole system to shut off for I don't know how long because I was AFKing and I came back and nothing was on. I couldn't interact with this thing at all. So I scrambled to try and get everything back on, which was kind of doable because we had the fire essence and I was able to just have that produce the lava buckets, and I have that exporting to a tank over by our boilers so that we can just have lava being generated without the need of those fabricators getting powered constantly. So that's how I am able to actually have power on again because that was a bit of an issue. But to craft these guys, we have all the resources, but we cannot currently craft them because none of our CPUs have that much storage. So if we go back over this way, if I could climb the stupid stair, we have 8 of the CPUs in motion right now, and we are going to need to break a couple of them and combine them down into one big unit. All right, and with all of those combined down, we should now have all of the ability or all the space available to make these. Hopefully, I'm hoping that's the case, and we can indeed. Okay, so we are now up to 1 million and something on storage, so that is fantastic. Let's set that in motion. That is going to take potentially like 10 minutes. It is going down very quickly, but we have to wait on the mechanism machines and whatever bit of crafting that needs to take place. I did make a couple of the pork seeds. These are all the seeds, by the way, that we used for all of our singularities and all the other stuff. I took them all out of our cloches, so nothing is being generated right now. I made 3 pork seeds, and then I kind of got tired of how long that was taking to make, and I didn't really want to go farming the chunks, so I just went ahead and captured one of them in the capture tool, and then I just spawned a whole bunch of them in. That's how we got the majority of our pork chops. We do have to craft a couple of them, but the majority came from spawning everything in. So right now we have to wait for this thing to process through, which is going to take a little while, but it's going to be going as fast as we can. We have all the upgrades in it. As long as we don't run out of power, we should be fine. But like I said, in between cuts here, we did place down a bunch of stuff. So this was like our temporary stopgap to try and kickstart our generators and stuff again, which honestly, this is the worst generator that I could have made. I thought we were going to be able to upgrade this to the next tier, but that is disabled in this pack. So these guys are running off of the Supremium coal, or the blue coal, which I don't think that's Supremium, but it's the blue version of the mystical agriculture stuff, and it generates a lot of power. It just doesn't drain very quick, I think, is what's happening. So it's not very good. This was not meant to stay here. It was temporary, but they're still kind of draining out the power, so I didn't really want to break everything and lose out on what little power I did have generating. And then over here on the side, I did end up figuring out how to automate our inscribers. So we have the presses for each of the items, and then all of that gets combined into this one. That turns out the finished product, so that is pretty cool. And then real quickly here, before I just AFK again while that processes through, because that's going to take a minute, but we did one other thing. So down here, we have an automated user that is receiving buckets, either milk buckets or lava buckets, because I'm not sure how else we get this into the system. So what I went ahead and did was have that go into a tank. There is an importer on the bottom of there that takes that and puts it into the system. And this all goes back to the drawers and stuff. There's nothing down there. But if we very quickly take a look at our mob farm once again, we have drops that we want going into our system going here. And we have all the other stuff that we don't care about going into the drawer system now that is then getting voided. And for the most part, this has been working pretty well. I did have to add this in because we were filtering with this thing only, and it is very slow. So there's no way of putting a speed upgrade on it. We have to just have muffling so it's not making that noise over and over again while it's running. But it is not very fast. We did run into an issue where I was AFKing, and without the drawer system here, we had so much stuff getting spawned in that it ended up not crashing our game, but we were running very, very low on frames, and I couldn't really move around. So I had to throw this whole thing in, and it got everything up and running again pretty nicely. I also went ahead and used one of these things to just throw some enchantments on one of our solarium daggers because we needed more chunks, and ours was about to break, and I didn't realize you can actually repair it. So we went with that thing. We got looting 3 and something else on our dagger, so it made getting chunks a little bit easier. And this also is draining the experience stuff back into our system because this was not running because it was backed up. But that is pretty much all the stuff that has happened in between cuts here that you guys probably want to see. If I was to do anything different, oh, also the paper clips only took about 40 minutes to an hour to actually process through. We had the metal getting exported here and then going through all 10 of the presses, and we were done with the paper clips, like I said, within an hour. We have 12,000 left over. We got up to 50-something thousand very, very quickly there. So that was real nice. This is currently up to 5,000, so it is beginning to get all that stuff crafted. But yeah, let me go ahead and hang out for a few more minutes, and we should have all of our stuff done. Oh, the timer went up. It was 12 minutes, and now it's at almost 18 minutes. Okay, yeah, this is going to take a little while because we have to chop a whole bunch of wood. But once that's done, we have our carts, and we can set that in motion as well. Alrighty, well, we got our final singularity here. So now we have all of them required to craft up the ultimate singularities that we need. So let's take all of those, although... Oh, yeah, we don't have room. Okay, let's just shift all of this stuff in. It should allow us to do the same thing that we did with the other recipe, and it doesn't want a specific thing, although it's not showing up there. Okay. Maybe it wants us to put it into the actual array here. So let me try. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's probably why it's like that. Okay, hold on one second. All right, well, let's go ahead and shift click it in. Although it's saying I'm missing something. It's saying I'm missing this guy, which... Oh... We are not almost done with the pack. Okay, we need 10,000 of these things now to get 2 of these guys up and running, and then we're done with the pack. I did not realize that. I wish I did, because that is what is that, like 100,000 paper clips or something? Maybe more than that to get this done. So I gotta go plug in all of our seeds again for the meteoric iron. We need to get that stuff rolling again. We're probably going to throw some more of those seeds together, honestly, to get things kind of working a little bit quicker. And then I'm going to just automate the production of these guys. That's really all I can do. It shouldn't honestly take too long. Once we get some more of the essence plants and stuff running, we do have 4,000 currently left over. We might also have a little bit in the system. I'm not honestly sure at the moment. But yeah, let me go ahead and correct that issue. I made a bit of an oopsie there. I didn't realize that was the thing, but okay. Let me go ahead and start crafting that stuff together, and hopefully we don't have to AFK too long because I am just about out of time for the episode. So yeah, we have 10,000 essence. That's going to give us a couple things, but for the most part, we don't have that ready to go. So let me get it in motion, and then we should hopefully be good to go here. Well, this is not exactly how I wanted to end off the pack, but right now we have most of our cloches generating the meteoric iron for the paper clips, and it's not quite enough to get the 2 singularities that we need up and running. I think the first mistake I made was making the metal presses, because we could have doubled our paperclip production by using the paperclip factory, so that was my bad. And I also did my math wrong here. I thought we only needed 100,000 paper clips to get the whole thing thing up and running, but I think it's more along the lines of 1 million or 100 million to get this all going, and then double that because we need 2 of them. So right now, we currently have 12 singularities made. We're not even close to making our very first paperclip singularity thing. So what I went ahead and did was just cheat in that last singularity. We went ahead and made everything else. This one was a slight oversight on my end. I didn't realize that was a different thing to this one. That was my bad. I just thought the recipe was a little weird because it had 2 of those things in there, and I just thought it was making you have 4 of them. But that was not the case, so that was my bad. Anyways, we are going to craft up the ultimate singularity, and we are going to fight Sev. Again, not exactly the way that I wanted to wrap up this series, but I don't really have the time to let the game AFK even longer to try and get that thing crafted. So we're just going to do this. Not great, but it is what it is. So let's take that, let's take that. We also need a zombie head and a white gem. So let me grab those real quick. If I could hit the right button, there you go. All right, well, the recipe for this is relatively straightforward. So we just gotta plop all this stuff into these like so. And I don't know if we have to click on it or it just summons. So before we do that, let me actually grab a thing that I crafted. So we made some supremium apples, and this is going to give us a bunch of stuff. It's going to give us strength, resistance, speed, absorption, all that jazz. So hopefully this kind of helps us here, and this is somewhat doable. But okay, we don't have to actually do that. Okay, let me do that. Let's also enable our magnet just in case this guy does anything cool. And let's go ahead and summon the guy. Oh, never mind, run button. Let me go ahead and summon the guy. There you go. Can I eat the apple? Great. And hopefully our throwing star is going to be good against this. I don't really have any other weapons, so if it doesn't do good, then we're in trouble, but it is making pretty quick work of him. So I think we're safe. Yeah. Was that really it? We needed a singularity that requires like 100 million things, and that was it? I thought it was going to be like base destroying or I don't know, anything. That was kind of lame, dude. Okay, well, you know what? This is an old pack. It is what it is. Anyways, we got 8 nether stars. We got one of the shader things. We got a creative engine for Steve's carts. So that's kind of neat. We also got a pair of boots that are unbreakable, I think is what that one is. The very first enchantment on there. That's kind of neat. And let's see, we also got this, which we need to drink to complete the advancement. Or actually, no, we don't. I thought we did. But what does this actually do? Does it do nothing? Oh, we actually can't drink it. Okay, never mind. Alrighty, well, that is going to be it for the episode as well as the series. So I hope you guys have enjoyed as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.